Today, for the first time ever, we Americans are going to be trying German food. We're in Jakarta, Indonesia, and this is the only German food we can find in basically most places in Southeast Asia. So we're trying it here today. Apparently, it's pretty authentic. Let's see. Unfortunately, when we sat down in the restaurant, a live concert started playing, so our audio sounds like this. The music's here now, so that's all the talking you may get.
Yeah, so the rest of this video, we're kind of just going to be talking about it and showing you the clips of us eating the food.
We ate it, we swear.
Yeah. When you actually enter this place, it was very fancy. It got some epic decor. They even had like traditional outfits for the waiters and waitresses.
That we know of as traditional,
Yeah.
like the Oktoberfest, like how people would dress in Oktoberfest, they're walking around.
The menu itself was pretty extensive and pretty fancy looking and, quite expensive for Indonesian standards.
We were repping like $5 max for a lot of our things we'd order at restaurants, and here we are getting closer to like 15 or more dollars per item, so they're raising it up to German prices for this restaurant.
And in typical German fashion, I believe, we got served super expensive water. We just wanted, the bottled water. And it was 70,000 rupiah, which, I mean, it's like $6. $5 or $6, I think.
And they weren't big, they were just like...
Yeah, it was like fancy Tuscany water, but it tasted
like water.
Like water, yeah.
But other than that, they also had a really fancy bathroom. That was kind of cool. Is that what bathrooms in Germany look like?
Is that a traditional German bathroom?
But we ordered a ton of food. We wanted to get the whole smorgasbord of German food that we could get at this restaurant before we actually are able to go to Germany.
We really want to try some German food when they're there, but this is a little taste we can get while we're all the way over across the world from it.
Yeah.
The first food we got was the classic schnitzel.
And it came with a fancy like mushroom gravy. I don't know if that's traditional for a schnitzel to come with that. It did in the version we got. It was a certain type of schnitzel, I don't know, let us know if you recognize this type of schnitzel, but it was one of like the 3 different variations they had.
For the actual taste of the dish, it was very crunchy. I guess that's the texture, but you can taste crunches too. It almost had like a butteriness to it.
For it being a fried piece of pork, it was so delectable. It wasn't dry. It was very tender. Like we just ran our knife right through it and it just ripped right apart. It was really high quality stuff.
In classic schnitzel fashion, I believe, it was just the super thin, super long, like cover your face style.
Smashed it with some sort of mallet for sure. Sometimes like you think of schnitzel and you're like, oh, it's just a fried piece of meat. What's so cool about that? But it was really different than things you can get in the United States generally.
And the schnitzel came with some roast potatoes as well. And potatoes aren't as common as a food out here in Southeast Asia. Typically we're getting some French fries at fast food places, so we miss a good roast potato.
Rice. I'm surprised it wasn't where we are right now in the Philippines, if you got a fried piece of meat, it would just come with a big clump of rice, no potatoes.
Yeah, maybe some garlic rice or like a butter rice.
Oh, if you're lucky, but usually it's just plain white rice. The potatoes were immaculate, really good, well seasoned, crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside. I love me a good potato, and you don't get them very often in Asia.
Next up, we got a boatload of food with the bread and cheese platter. We got this originally because we just wanted to try as many different things as possible in like one dish, and it was perfect for that. Tons of different breads.
It really sucks that, I'm sure you don't want to sit here and hear us talk about mystery cheeses if we're not actually eating it. So we got so many things, and now we're going to just kind of gloss over everything right here. Starting with one of the highlights was the German pretzel. We have those type of pretzels in the US, but they're more of like a stadium food.
Yeah, like if you're going to a sporting event, you get a huge pretzel, a lot bigger than that. It's like usually covered in salt, and then you dip it in like nacho cheese.
Super, super processed nacho cheese. We're going in thinking like, oh, who eats pretzels without the processed nacho cheese? But surprisingly, so good, buttery, fluffy, soft.
It even had like this nice saltiness without seeing like those huge visible salt chunks that US pretzels have. And not only just having a pretzel, they also had like a bread that was also pretzel. It was like a little loaf thing, but it was a pretzel version of that, and that was also so good.
I don't know what about the German way of making the pretzels is so much. It's probably just better ingredients.
Yeah.
I don't know how this Indonesian place made it, but the pretzels in the U.S. always have a plasticky vibe to them. Like they're like, yeah. Then we had a bunch of mystery cheeses. It didn't say on the menu what exactly they were, but we kind of guessed. There was probably like a Swiss cheese. There was some sort of cheddar cheese.
Brie cheese, we believe.
Yeah, we haven't dove too far into the European cheese scene. In the U.S., it's just American cheese, cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese. Nothing was too like strong. Pretty good. All fit very well with the breads.
Yeah, and even they had some little crackers to eat them on too. But the most unique thing out of that whole bunch was the like pumpernickel bread, we believe it to be. The actual like flavor on that was so unique. That was definitely one of the most unique flavors we had in that meal.
I've had pumpernickel bread before. My dad used to get it when I was a kid, so I had that flavor before. As a child, I absolutely hated it. Like, I would be like, oh, what's this bread? And then I would smell it, and it smells weird, and bite into it, and it was like kind of sour. And I hated it as a kid, but eating it again as a full-grown man, very good, very unique. Such an interesting bread. You never had it at all before.
No, it's definitely quite the way to switch up just the bread flavor. I mean, that's what we noticed about all those breads. You switch up the actual flavor of just having bread.
I want to see what's in it here.
It's a rye bread.
Whole grains, sourdough starter. So it's basically like a sourdough rye bread. So it has the sourness of sourdough and the like rye-ness of rye bread.
Yeah. We also paired that with like this. I still don't even know what it was. It was kind of like some sort of butter, but it was almost like whipped. We paired it with the pumpernickel, and it almost had sort of an oniony flavor to it.
Onion butter? Is German onion butter a thing?
Let's see.
That doesn't.
German herb butter.
It was more like orange, but maybe it was just a different version because we're in Indonesia.
But it was so unique. I kind of liked the flavor, but I really didn't expect it when I put it in my mouth to taste like that.
It was strong. It works particularly well with the strongness of the pumpernickel, I think.
Yeah.
So they like balance each other out, and like when we just had it like on the white bread, it was a little too much for me, I think.
Yeah.
The platter also came with some fruits, like not seedless grapes. That's un-American right there.
Yeah, there was like 2 seeds in there. What are you doing?
And some like dried apricots.
Yeah, and then there was walnuts on there too. I didn't know walnuts weren't very good.
We had walnuts when we were in China, but they were covered in honey and roasted, I believe, and they tasted delicious. And then we just had them right there, and raw walnuts are horrible.
Oh, yeah, that was not it. And then we got a dish of the sausage. 2 little sausage links, and it came with some potatoes as well. We tried the potatoes first.
Very interesting. I thought it was just going to be your usual mashed potatoes, maybe a little buttery, maybe a little salty. Totally different.
It was straight up sour. We thought it's possibly like a mustard thing or like a sauerkraut thing, possibly. It was a very unique flavor. That's definitely the least favorite thing we had out of everything there was that the potatoes that came with our sausage.
When the savory foods turn super sour, it's kind of when I start to lose interest in it. And I know sauerkraut's a huge thing in Germany, so I've had it before because it's in Minnesota where we're from. There's a lot of German ancestry, so it's just kind of a thing that's always been around is sauerkraut. But I've never been a fan. But maybe I got to try it in Germany.
Yeah, well, maybe it was better there. The sausage, still don't know exactly what it's called. It starts with like a
Thuringer, something like that. It was probably some region or area of Germany.
The sausage was like long, and when you bite into it, the texture was amazing. Kind of got that little pop, and then it was super soft on the inside.
The flavor was very like well balanced for a sausage. It wasn't too salty. It wasn't flavorless. It was just really good. It kind of reminded me of a breakfast sausage that you'd get in the U.S. at some diners and stuff. It could have that like kind of brown, like kind of grayish color to it.
Yeah,
which is kind of some places have breakfast sausages like that. But it wasn't like the most seasoned up sausage either. I do love like when the sausage has a ton of seasonings and spices in it. And that one was just like very like run of the mill, right where you're getting the porky flavor of it, but nothing else.
Really juicy too.
Very juicy.
That was like all the food we got there, and it's so nice with the German food that like there's so much variety in it. We got to eat so many different foods in just the one meal, and it seems all very well balanced. You get a lot of carbs, a lot of protein, a lot of fats in there, like all very well-rounded meal.
It's very different compared to a lot of the times in Southeast Asia when we get food. It's like mostly carbs, like specifically rice, and then like tiny little bits of meat throughout it. So it was nice to have a huge hunk of meat.
In Indonesia, where we actually filmed this video, we noticed that like a lot of Indonesian food is like, you can tell the meat is a bit more expensive, so they try and mix the meat in with like tons of carbs, like their bakso. It seems like they mix meat with the flour to
Noodles.
make a meatball. Yeah, there's a lot of noodles,
Fried rice, stuff like that. Even like sometimes bread. It's like a lot of tofu and bread, and then just a little bit of meat.
But that does make that food very affordable. Indonesia, on average, we probably spent maybe around 100 to 200,000 rupiah for a lot of our meals. And can you guess how much this German food feast cost us in rupiah?
You know your rupiah? It cost us almost 1,100,000 rupiah, which ended up being around $70 US, which was by far the most expensive meal we had in Indonesia. But I'm curious, if we got all this food in Germany, what do you think it would cost?
Would it be cheaper than $70?
We had the atmosphere, we had the live show, we were in a fancy mall, but I mean, it isn't even common in Germany to get that type of meal, like a whole cheese and bread platter, a schnitzel, some sausage. Like, is that normal? Let us know down in the comments below.
Something that's probably not normal is we didn't get a beer. Sorry, Germans, we're not the beer drinkers.
We didn't get one.
They did have a lot of beers. Everyone there was drinking beer.
Literally everyone. Every single table had beer. The first thing the waiter asked us was, do you want a beer?
Interesting thing to note, Indonesia, very Muslim country. They did serve a lot of pork dishes. This is the only time we ate pork in Indonesia, basically.
At the German restaurant?
Yeah. There was also beer, which is very not halal.
Yeah, but Indonesia seemed weird where places had alcohol.
Yeah, even fast food sometimes had alcohol. Yeah. But interesting thing to note there. The German restaurant seemed to be its own thing.
We don't know if it was run by Germans or like they had a German chef, but the food was really good. Let us know if you think it was actually authentic or if it looked like stuff you can get in Germany. Maybe not the highest quality stuff you can get in Germany. I don't know, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. We tried to make the most out of this when our video footage got absolutely annihilated by a live concert.
When we eventually come to Germany, we're going to have much better vlogs than this.
Yeah, it's not going to be a talking in the office type of vlog, but hopefully you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.